Okay, hello, 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 everyone, hello. Oh my goodness. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. All right, so the thing that we're going to talk about, hello, hello, hello. You hear me talk a lot about, you hear me talk a lot about, hi. Y'all hear me talk a lot about manifesting and, how to get the universe to say yes. And that is definitely my jam. But I do want to share. I don't have my book. I do want to share. I'm super, super excited because the online class that we've been talking about is finally coming. It's going to be out this week. I'm so excited. Unspooling your DNA and learning how to co-create with the magic of the universe by blending your emotions and the science to literally unspool your DNA and work on co-creating with the universe. So I'm so excited to have this class, this video. There's a workbook, there's an ebook, there's a special bonus as well. I'm so excited. So watch your emails, and I want you to also, watch this. Oh, I want to say watch this space, but put a little footnote on it, okay? Watch this space, but put a little footnote on it. And if you are not on my email list, and if you are not following me on YouTube, you need to do that now, okay? There's some, if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you know I've been, thank you, Chris. She says, I really want to take the class, and the workbook is awesome. So this is an inexpensive program that we're putting out. It's a 46-minute class, 47-minute class, and then the workbook. So this is not an expensive deal. I'm not charging a lot for this because I really believe in this information. I really want to get this information out there. So it is not an expensive class. And so you definitely, so you're going to get the announcements and everything for tomorrow. But if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been looking at YouTube, I've been looking at Blue Sky, I've been looking at, other places to be. And there's more and more information coming about Meta, and it is very frustrating, and I am inching ever closer to the leaving of the Facebook averse, especially for this. I find that my personal page is a very good outlet for my frustration about what is my human is dealing with, and this is a great place for us to be together in our metaphysical and in our light worker side, but we can do that on YouTube. And so I really, if you're not already following me on YouTube, I want to say this. I'm going to say it a lot. I'm going to put it in a post, and here I have the thing. You can follow me on YouTube. I am easy to find. Here is the thing. So if you are not already following me on YouTube, Sherry Dworkin-Smith 6869. Don't know why, but that's what it is. So if you're not following me on YouTube, please do, because there is coming a tipping point where we're going to be there and not here. Okay, and that includes Instagram. That will be, watching but not necessarily participating, as far as putting live things onto Instagram, because I'm very more and more concerned about the privacy issues. I'm concerned about the privacy issues for me and for you, and I want to make sure that we are trying to do the things that we can do to keep all of us safe. So if you're not on my email list and you're not already on my YouTube channel, please do consider making sure I have. You can DM me your email address. Don't put it in the comments. DM it to me. But you want to be in on this for the class launch that's happening tomorrow, and then you also want to be able to follow us where we go. Okay, we want to keep our community together, and I'm just not. And you'll know it's a because I love the fact that we can come together and have communication, but I think we can do that on YouTube as well. So, like I said, I'm also on Blue Sky, but the videos and things, I post these videos on YouTube, I post them on Blue Sky as well. So, so that's the update. So a little bit of news that the video and the class is going to be launching, so we definitely want to be in on that for tomorrow, and Unspool Your DNA, so excited, and then make sure that you are following me where, somewhere else, because we very, very well may be leaving here sooner rather than later. So, okay, those are the things. So, and now I want to talk a little bit about what happens when the universe says no. Because like I said, if you follow me and I'm all about the unspooling and the manifesting and the believing in the positives, and sometimes the shit hits the fan, and how do we reconcile when the universe says no? How do we reconcile what is going on in the news? How do we reconcile when, really horrible news hits someone that we care about? How do we say, well, all things work together for good when the shit hits the fan? Now, I will tell you, I really still 100% firmly believe that even in the pile of crap, there is a blessing in there somewhere. And we may not be able to see it where we are, right? We may not be able to see it until we dig out from the crap and we can zoom out and look backwards and say, oh, now I can see how this led to this, led to this, led to this. Okay, now we can see that. So when the universe says no, and when we are stuck in the pile of crap, the things that become important, first of all, are survival, right? How do we keep afloat in the pile of crap? How do we keep afloat when it feels like everything is falling apart around us? And one thing that becomes really important in that is connection, okay? Connection. When we feel like everything is against us, when we feel like everything is on us and we just sink, and we just can't. The instinct is to cocoon. The instinct is to hide away. The instinct is to pull the covers over our head and walk away and hide away and disconnect from others. The problem with that is that makes the heaviness worse, because now we're rowing the boat alone. We are shoveling the horse shit alone. And if you've ever tried to take on a project where you looked at that and said, I got this, I can totally do that, and then you got about halfway through it and you went, man, this is a lot more than I thought it was going to be. And we can get overwhelmed and we can start to sink. And so when we are shoveling the shit, and when it feels like the universe is all coming down on our heads, it can really be that natural instinct to just hide away and cocoon. And it takes more courage and it takes more strength to reach out to somebody and say, I need some help here. And we don't necessarily even have to say, I need some help here, but even just the act of reaching out to someone else can make a huge difference, because that one thing can shift our energy. What if that person said something lovely and raised your energy? What if it turned out that that person that you reached out to is shoveling even more shit than you are, and you reaching out to them really made a difference to them? There are so many ways that we do not know how the universe leads us. And one of the things that I talk about, and I've talked about it here, and I talk about it in this class as well, in the Unspooling Your DNA class, available tomorrow. One of the things that I talk about is about the tapestry. And you've heard me say this before, where if you've ever seen a tapestry or a needlepoint or something, that it is this beautiful picture or design, something organized and beautiful on the front. But on the back, it can be this mess of knots and threads and things going in all different directions. And I really truly believe that that is one of the ways the universe is operating. That our angels, our guides, our ascended masters, our loved ones, they are holding and seeing the tapestry like this. And so when they look at us, they're seeing the beautiful picture. I suppose I should have done this the other way, but that's okay. They're seeing this beautiful picture. And when we look up and we say, "What the hell is going on?" we see the back and the mess and the knots and the threads and the mess. And we look at that and go, "What the heck?" But when they look, and if you've ever looked at a needlepoint, or a tapestry, it's very specific of what color goes in what square or what goes on what line. If you have a weave or something, it is very, very specific pattern that the color goes in the right place to make that beautiful picture. And so they know exactly what thread to pull and where to stick it back in for us to be able to pull it out on the other side and be like, "Oh, I can grab onto that. Wait a minute, I got this." Okay. So it is one of those places when I look at the universe and I say, what in the hell is going on? This idea gives me a little bit to hold on to and gives me a little bit of hope to say, I don't know what the hell you people are doing, but I'm believing that they have some kind of an idea of what's going on. Okay? So maybe that's something that helps you too. When we are, it gives me something to hold on to when I'm in the pile of shit. Okay? And I ask them, who can I reach to? How can I go forward? How can I, what is a move? Because sometimes when we're in it, we're like, I don't know what direction to even go. And then we stop, we can get quiet and say, what direction do I need to go? And all of a sudden it seems like there's a path that opens. My husband and I are avid kayakers. Again, if you follow me, you know that. And we are very fond of kayaking in places that have twisty turns and things like that. And sometimes we run into places where it looks like the path is blocked. Maybe a tree fell in a storm or something, and it looks like the path is blocked. And inevitably, my husband will say, okay, well, we should just, go back because, it's blocked. And here's me paddling right up to the blockage and saying, like, oh, wait a minute, there's a path through. Wait, if you just go this way, and then there's a path that's through. Now you got to make sure you can get back. But, very, very often we can find a way through. We just have to look at it from a different angle. We just have to look at it from a different perspective. We have to communicate with each other so that he's behind me. If I get stuck, he can pull me out. So the instinct is to cocoon and hide ourselves away when we're in those moments where we just feel like, I cannot do one more damn thing. And if that's where you are, first of all, we want to honor it, okay? We do. We want to honor it because sometimes we need to take that minute to be quiet and just be. And this is where I often encourage people to set an egg timer, or a timer on your phone or on your watch that says, let me just have 15 minutes to just process this new information and figure out where and how and all of these things. But after that, we say, okay, can I get up and see this from a different perspective? How can I get up and see this from a different perspective? And hopefully, we all have those people in our lives where we can reach to them, somebody. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of people, but one or two people that we could call or text and say, hey, I need a little help. I need a little perspective. I need a little guidance. I need a little something. Some of you who have been with me for a very long time may remember the stories of how I had to sever a relationship with someone who'd been in my life for my whole life and someone who I love very much, but I really need to, for my mental health and my family's mental health, love them over there. Away. But I knew that when I severed that relationship, the collateral damage was going to be the daughters, my nieces. And my love for these girls has not changed, has not ever changed, not for a blink. But I knew when I walked away from this relationship, I knew they would hate me. And I have to accept that. I don't like it, but I have to accept that. And so one of them, very fabulously, just graduated college and turned 21, and I'm super proud of her. I'm really, just couldn't be more overjoyed for her. And when I sent her a little text message, she said, "Please stop contacting me." And I said, well, pulled the covers over my head, had my 15 minutes, and then I reached out to a trusted friend, and I said, what would you do in this situation? And she gave me some good advice. And so I took a deep breath, and I responded back to the text message, and I said, as you wish, because she's 21 years old, and she can decide for herself. And I also understand that she has a one-sided view of what's going on, or what went on, or whatever, and she has, and so I've been watching. If you've been watching the news the past couple of days about, what's going on in Los Angeles, there's very different news stories coming out, and every situation has two sides to the story. Okay, so I know what happened and why I made the decisions that I made, and her mother knows what happened from her perspective, and so it is important to have a person, hopefully more than one in your life, that you can call or text and say, hey, I need a perspective. I need a different opinion. I need someone who can see this situation from a different perspective, who can zoom out and see it not from the middle of the pile of horse poop, okay? And so if you are feeling like you're in the middle of the pile of the horse poop right now, please remember that you don't have to shovel it all yourself. And that sometimes the answer is going to be no, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And so I don't want my nieces to grow up having to hide a relationship with me, or to have to feel like they're in the middle between myself and their mother. And if that is what is best for them, to grow up in loving relationships and having a wonderful life and being a beautiful young women, I will watch them with love and joy and pride from afar, and I will keep my mouth shut, because the answer from the universe was no. Okay? And if that is what is best for them, and as I zoomed out, I could see that is what is best for them. And sometimes we have those places where we're just like, I fucking hate this, but it is what is best in the situation. And so we phone a friend, maybe we eat some chocolate, but if your instinct and your need is to pull the covers up over your head and have a cry and hit the pillow and scream into the pillow or whatever it is, that's okay. But set the timer, and at the end of that period of time, reach out to somebody who's in your community of light or our community of light, and ask for a different perspective. Because while the universe's answer may be no, it doesn't have to be the end of the road. It's not a wall. It's not a dead end. It's not the end of the story. It's perhaps a sharp left or a right turn. Perhaps it's a U-turn. Perhaps it's a moment to pause and redirect. Okay? No does not mean never. It means not right now. Okay? And it is about redirection. Okay? And how we choose to respond when we get to those roadblocks, when we have that no, we say, forget it. I guess I wasn't meant to have this or that, or, I give up. And that's the easy answer. And a lot of people choose that answer, and that's if that's what's right for them. But sometimes, often, always, it's worth it to consider taking that moment to regroup and then reaching out for a little guidance, for a little different perspective. And it's interesting because I shared this video that's launching tomorrow with a couple different people, and someone who knows me very, very well was able to see lots of nitpicks and flaws and things that I'm aware of. But somebody who doesn't know me as well had a very different perspective and was able to say, oh, this is great, and this is great, and this is great. And so we need both people. We need both things. We need the universe to say, yes, that was fabulous. And then we also need the universe to say, okay, that was really good, but here's some things to keep in mind as well. Okay? So as Lauren has very rightly said, no can be in the comments. She says, no is the best yes I ever got. I never would have walked out the door had the universe not slammed it in my face. And I'm grateful. And I agree. I mean, my older son used to play soccer in Tampa. I'm going to tell you what, we drove 3 nights a week, 90 minutes each way, if traffic was good, to Tampa for him to play soccer. And when that team went to shit, and I'm telling you, that was an explosion of epic proportions, and we heard it loud and clear in our heads. It said, go before it is too late. And we left the team. We walked away. We'd paid in full. We weren't getting a refund. We were in the middle of a season, which is not easy for a goalkeeper. Goalkeepers, it's not like you can just walk on a team. We said, go before it's too late. And we walked away, and when we looked back, we saw that whole thing just exploding behind us. And we're like, oh, gee whiz, we didn't get caught in that. Thank God, right? And it was the same thing when we left LA and we moved to Orlando. It was go before it was too late. And even though it felt maybe, I don't know, weird in the moment, we knew we were doing the right thing. And we looked back and said, absolutely, we've done the right thing. So no can be the best yes, but it is often our instinct to mourn it and grieve it, which is normal and fine for a moment. And then we stand back up. We try to look at the tapestry. We ask, who can see this from a different perspective? And we need both sides. We need those people who are really, really close to us who can see all the flaws. And then we need those other people who can say, this is amazing. We need the yes people. And let's be very clear. The people who can see all the flaws are not the yes people. They are just able to see things from a much more detail-oriented perspective. That doesn't mean they're not rooting for you. That doesn't mean they're not cheering for you, okay? But we want people who we know can be 100% honest with us. And then we also need those people who are like, participation trophies. Whatever it was, you did great, right? So we need both. And so we don't belittle. I know there's a whole lot of people talking about how, kids get participation trophies and it doesn't teach them how to lose or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? There is enough stuff that kids are going to get whacked with in life that's going to knock them down. We do not need to be asking for more of it. We need both. We need those people who will give us the real scoop, and we need the people who are going to be the balcony people, and both people can be sitting right next to each other in the balcony. Okay, so everybody's just going to take a deep breath. Because right now, there's a lot of places where it feels like the universe is saying no. And that's okay. Right? It is okay. It is hard to watch. It is hard when you were the person with the shovel. It is hard to watch others going through it. It is hard when we are not necessarily able to pick up a shovel to help them. If we can pick up a shovel to help them, that's great. Okay? But there's a lot of places where the universe is saying no right now, and it is important that we have some tools and understanding of how we can protect ourselves or how we can walk through the pile of shit so we don't get drowned by it. Okay? We can put down the shovel and take that minute to cover the head, take a pity party, and then ask for help. Reach out. One of the best things we can ever do. And in depression and darkness, it is hard. It is hard. It is hard when you're under the cover to reach out to someone else. It is hard to share that you are struggling. And so what I want to tell you is that one thing is an act of courage. And we can't be angry at somebody who did not read our mind. I can tell you when I was dealing with major depression, I can't tell you how many times I called somebody or texted, and I'm like, how come they don't know? Don't they know me at all? Can't they tell I'm drowning? No, they can't, because the other part of us is trying to hide the hell out of it, okay? So take a breath. I need some help. It is, I need some help. 4 super hard words to say. I need some help, okay? And it doesn't mean you need a 12-step program or an intake form or something. Sometimes we just need somebody else to listen. Okay. Now, having said all that, if you are somebody who is in that position and needs someone to listen, please do know that is part of what grief counseling, grief education is. That is what grief education is for. Sometimes you don't have a shovel, so you use a dustpan to shovel snow after the great snowpocalypse of, 15 years ago, 18 years ago throughout Virginia. Sometimes you do. I remember Snowmageddon in Atlanta, and friends of ours got stuck, and, sometimes you're bailing water with a thimble, right? But if you are somebody who is really struggling right now, please know that is what grief education is about. Grief education is a more real conversation with a friend than it is a therapy session. But grief education is about helping people who are dealing with trauma or drama or grief, loss, whatever, and there is a lot of that going on right now. So if you are somebody who is really struggling and you need some assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out, because grief education is also a big part of what I do. Okay, so if you didn't know, Sherry Dworkin-Smith, psychic medium, hypnotherapist, grief educator, and unspooling your DNA master. Can't wait till tomorrow. We're going to launch our course. Really excited. Make sure that you are on my email list. Make sure you are following me on YouTube, because things are going to change. All right. So this is Daniel. So as we pick up Kyle Gray's Angels cards to look at, so interesting. Don't you know I absolutely love, thank you. Don't you know I absolutely love, I love Chris Judd, who's our content manager. So big round of applause for Chris Judd for always posting the links. And big thank yous. But don't you know, this is why I love to talk to you first before we get into the cards, because they really are just these amazing eavesdroppers. So in Daniel, in Kyle Gray's Archangel Oracle deck, this is Daniel. This is divine discernment. It says, trust the messages within. They are divinely guided. So even when you're shoveling the shit, there is some message within. So trust the messages within. So I'm very, very appreciative for that. So, okay. So let's grab a couple other cards. We will do some individual readings today, and we'll do that. Oh, I almost flipped a pen in my coffee. Hello, Cousin Rachel. Hello, darling. I'm sending you a big hug. I love to see your name pop up. Hello. It's my cousin Rachel, who lives in Oregon, but is from Oregon, but I think she lives in San Francisco now. Just getting ready to move to somewhere else. Anyway. No, that's not right. She's a doctor in Johns Hopkins. Anyway, she's super smart and really accomplished. So hi. All right. And they're moving to San Diego. That's what it is. San Diego. All right, so here we have, what's going on this week? What do we need to know? This is no peace like home, but this is upside down, okay? So this is in the protection position realignment, and then this is card 50. So 55 tells us we are right in the middle of the pile of the stuff, right? And so this is upside down, this no peace like home. And so this is really about getting out of our comfort zone, and this is also about really facing the things that maybe we're not ready to face. And so you can see it right side up. It's the nice, bird's eye view. But when this card is upside down, it's like, what are we not paying attention to? What are we afraid of? What are we not facing? What are we really got to stretch. We've got to be willing to come out of our comfort zones to be able to go forward in a better direction for ourselves. And so this card being upside down, especially being the 50 card, the number 5, we're right in the middle of the road. It's like, okay, we really got to make a decision. Are we going left or right here? So this card, the next card is, well, how do we do that? How do we go forward? It says this is 36. Now that's very interesting, because 3 and 6 is 9. So in order for us to continue on our journey and going in the right direction, this has come to the edge, and this is right side up. So come to the edge is really about trusting the universe. It's trusting, I heard that loud and clear. This is about trusting. This is that knowing that this is a solid place that you're going to land, okay? That when you do step out of your comfort zone and when you do stretch yourself, that you are going to be given a soft place, a solid place to land. And this is also about letting go of the past, letting go of the stuff that we're holding on to, because here's the other thing, is if you're in the middle of the shoveling the horse shit, don't be putting it in your pockets. Leave it, shovel it to the side. We're not trying to clean up the whole room. We're just trying to make a path to go forward, okay? But make sure you're not putting that stuff in your pockets. This is not the way, okay? This is not Shawshank Redemption, where we are putting the prison cell walls in our pockets and taking them outside to, drop them off. No. We are not taking this with us. So as we are going forward and stepping out of the comfort zone, we're coming to the edge. We are coming to a new edge. We're coming to the place of a new, fresh perspective. We are not carrying all the horse shit with us. So wash it off. Leave it behind you. Sharon says, I sometimes feel as my whole world is upside down. Yet there's a lot of that going on right now. Now there's planets that are shifting, and let me also say that the full moon is Wednesday. Okay, so it's this is a fraught time with a lot of things moving, and there's some big planets that are changing zodiac signs that don't change like the moon changes every month. Some of these bigger planets, they don't change all that much, and so there's a lot of energy shifting in the universe right now. Scott says the zone is challenging. That comfort zone is challenging to get out of, and the horse shit belongs in its own hole, absolutely 100%. So here's the third card. It's like, well, how are we going forward? And it says this is by the book, but this is also upside down, because sometimes we do got to bend a few rules, right? So sometimes we don't, well, nothing illegal, but sometimes we do have to bend some rules. Guess who's reading The Shawshank Redemption right now? Great story, great book. So, but this is 11, okay? This is by the book. That says we've got to stick together. Look, because they're holding on to each other. They're leading with each other. They're going together. They're staying together. This is 11, which reminds us we're not alone. But this card being upside down says to us, hey, it's okay to be a little non-traditional. It's okay to be, bend the rules, to be a rebel, okay? And know that we're still 11, we're still connected, we're still together. So when we are needing that extra support, we reach out. We're not cocooning, we're reaching out. The connection is the part that helps us to go forward. The elephants, the connection is the part that helps us to go forward. So these are really, really important confirmation cards, and this is why, especially if you're new to participating with us, welcome. But this is why I always have some things that are in my heart that have been asked to be revealed or to share, things that are channeled through, that are, the universe is saying, here's what we want you to express today. And then we pull the cards afterwards, because the cards are always in confirmation for the things that have been asked for me to share with you. So here we have Daniel, who says, hey, divine discernment. Make sure you're, looking around, trying to see things from a different point of view, knowing that all those messages, whether they're positives or negatives, let me rephrase that, whether it's a yes or a no, because you know what, in any way, there's always going to be a positive and a negative in any situation. We can see positive and negative in any situation. So in whatever that situation is, whatever those signs from the universe are, I will go look. Whatever those signs from the universe are, they are divinely in front of you to help move you in another direction. Okay, and so then we have the no peace like home, that says, hey, we've got to get out of our comfort zone. We've got to shake it up a little bit. But we're trusting, come to the edge, we're trusting that there will be a solid place for us to land, making sure that our pockets are not filled with all the horse shit from the past. And then we have by the book that says, don't be afraid to be a little, non-traditional, a little rebellious, because in the 11 card, you are still going to be in alignment with the universe. And Sharon asks, what is on the lead elephant? So they've all got little blankets on them. They've all got little blankets, if you can see, little like horse blankets that are on them, like as if they might have been like released from the circus. But here's what's kind of interesting is if you look really carefully at the lead elephant, on his blanket, it kind of looks like there's a face in there too. And I think that's kind of cool. Oh, there it is. Kind of looks like there's a face. Okay. All right. So let me grab our Malachim cards. I know we didn't do those last week. Let's do, these are Israeli, English, Arabic. He does look smiley, doesn't he, the face of the lead elephant? He's like, let's go, I got this. Because, if you're not in the lead, you're looking at somebody else's butt. So you might as well, he's the happy one because, the view does not improve if you're not first. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Oh, a couple that just jumped right out of my hand. So this is faith and happiness. Okay, so when I went to put down the staff on the desk to be able to pick two, these two jumped out. So this is faith, amonah, faith, okay, and then the other one, happiness, simcha. Is this? Simcha, happiness. Okay, so faith and happiness. Okay, so these cards, unlike the other cards with the pictures on them, these are things for us to remember. These are things for us to tap into. These are reminders. These are little winks from the angels. Malachim is the Hebrew word for angel. So these are winks from the universe, winks from the angels that said, hey, you might be in the pile of horse shit right now, but here are some things to remember while you are working through the path of the cards. There's still faith and there's still joy. So we still want to hold on to that. And that I find to be extremely comforting and confirming, because one of the things we talk a lot about in the Unspooling Your DNA class is about how faith and joy and gratitude are such big parts of manifestation. So looking forward to telling you more about that for tomorrow's launch date. All right, so Malachim is spelled with an A, M-A, so I don't know if you can see it. It's M-A-L-A-C-H-I-M, Malachim, with a ch. Okay, malachim is angels. That's angels. All right, so you know the deal. If you want cards, let's see those comments. Let's do it. And if you you don't have to ask a question. You just say, want a card. I want a card for me, but when we get to you, we do go in the order that the comments are in. You only need to put in the comment one time, because if you put in many, the window that I can see the comments is small. And if you push it up, I might miss somebody else. So you only need to do it one time. And just have your question in your mind, the cards know, and then when I get to you, the cards will know. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to start with a lot has happened. Yeah, last week we didn't do cards, so you're good, Steve. You're good, and you can always go back and watch on YouTube, or you can watch back here. So that's okay. No worries. All right. So let's see. We have Sharon, and then we have Lauren, and we do have a bunch of people who are seeking new jobs. We do have some people who are pursuing interviews, etc. So we do want to send some good general vibes out to the universe for folks that are looking for those transitions to be, positive and quick. So this is for Sharon. Sharon, this card is number 4, higher power. Y'all know number 4. We love 4, right? 4 legs of the chair, 4 legs of the table. We are supported. We are really supported in that way. And this, I love this card because this is that you've got almost like this flashlight going on her third eye right here. But look how beautiful she is, and she's just blending into the background. She's there. So Sharon, what she's talking about is, hey, I'm here, I'm in the background, I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm ready to help you. But here's the thing about angels especially, is they cannot leap into action unless it's your guardian angel, who's the one who puts the hands on the wheels of the car and you think, I don't know how I didn't just hit that thing, right? That's the thing, thank God for the guardian angels. But our archangels and our oracle angels and all the other angels that we have, and the guides and spirit guides and animal guides and all those things, they can't come into action unless we ask them to. Okay, so they're watching, they're waiting, she's paying attention. But what she's talking about is about tapping into your higher power, Sharon. And so this is also about asking for help. Okay, what she's talking about is, I'm here to help you, I'm here to help guide you, I'm here to help point your face so that you can see the thing you're supposed to see. But you want to ask for that help. You want to ask to tap into this. And so often we're kind of programmed to roll up our sleeves and do it ourselves, and we forget that we can ask the higher for help. We can ask our own higher, we can ask the higher others. Okay, so Sharon, this is just a reminder that you don't have to do it all yourself, and that it is safe and encouraged for you to ask, because they're not going to come in and get involved if you're not asking. So please take a few minutes and get a little quiet and say, because whenever we ask for them to come in, we always start with gratitude, and we say, thank you for being with me, thank you for being around me, thank you for showing yourself to me. Kyle Gray is a fan of saying, thank you, angels, for revealing what I need to know. But we always start with thank you when we ask those higher energies to come in. Okay, so that's for Sharon. So for Lauren, we have, this is upside down. This is exchanging gifts. Now I love this card because not only is it super cute and pretty and very girly, which is hilarious because I'm not like a super girly girl. You're welcome, Sharon. But I am a little bit girly. So I like this because it's got the little ballerina, and it's got the little fairy with the wings, and the cat is playing, and it just, I think it's such a pretty, it always makes me smile. Now this card is 27, so 2 and 7 is 9. So we are coming to the end of a chapter now. This is exchanging gifts, Lauren. So this is really about, where did I lose you? Hang on a second. It's like, there you are. Okay, I like to make sure I'm seeing your name because it helps me connect in your energy. But this is about exchanging gifts, okay? And so this is reminding yourself that you have given a lot of gifts, and that now it is ready. You are okay to receive, okay? You have given out a lot to others and to in a lot of situations, and this is a time for you to say, okay, I am open to receive something, this or something more. So as you are going forward with your path, to remind yourself to be open to the things that are the something more, this or something more. Whenever we ask to manifest for something, we're asking for this or something more. What else? We want to be flexible. We want to be open to what the universe might be able to do beyond what we have envisioned in our little box. We want to give the universe the opportunity to say, we can do this or something more. And so with exchanging gifts, it reminds us that reciprocity can sometimes feel like manipulation if we're trying to get something, if somebody else trying to get something. But this card comes in with a lot of light around it, and it is really important to be able to say, keep an eye on overgiving, but allow yourself to be the recipient. Because very often, especially with women, when we are the people who are so used to being the one that gives out and gives out and gives out, it can almost be difficult for us to receive. And so this card, Lauren, is reminding you that it's your turn, okay? That it's your turn to receive. It's your turn to relax, to let things come to you, okay? So allow others to help, to lift, to guide, to just be able to pour into you, okay? All right, so we've got Maria, okay? So we've got Maria. All right. So Maria, this is the Yang card. It is also upside down, but this is the number 1 card, and this is really about going forward, okay? And so Maria, this was upside down, and so this is really, you want to ask, like, what is it that's holding you back, okay? So we have we have, you're welcome, Lauren. So Maria, this is all about giving yourself permission to go forward, okay? And so when we have this card that's upside down, you're looking at what is it that's holding you back, because this is a 1 card. This is a new step, a new journey, a new chapter for you, but you have all the power, okay? So this is reminding you that you can go forward. You have all the power. This is the masculine energy card, right? We have the yin, which is the feminine energy. We have the yang, which is the masculine energy. That says, hey, look, you're holding it all. You're holding the world. You're holding all the energy. You're holding all of that right there for you. And so you have all the ability, you have all the power to be able to go forward. But this card being upside down, it's like, okay, let's take a look at what is it that's holding you back, because it feels like you are holding you back. This card is telling us that you are holding yourself back. So we definitely want to take a look and say, what am I afraid of? What am I resisting? Why am I not going forward? So give that a ponder. Okay. Hello, Fatima. Yeah, we'll get you in the mix for sure. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we've got Melissa. Okay, a card for Melissa. Absolutely. So we've got community. This is 8. So this is 8, this is community. Now this card is reminding us about being connected, but at the same time, Melissa, with the 8 card, sometimes we're looking at going around in the same circle again. So we have that sacred geometry that happens in with 8s. It says, hey, are we in a time loop? Are we going around in circles? But this is talking to you about community. This is talking about where do you need to get reconnected, to get plugged back in, as if you've been disconnected from your situations. You want to reconnect with the people around you. You reconnect with those people who are those balcony people, those light bringers that we talked about earlier in the video. But asking of, like, how do I get reconnected with people who can mentor to me, or that I can mentor people who are going to lift me up. So this is, hey, it's time to come out of your little hut and to get yourself reconnected, okay? But this is, and this is number 8. So with 8, again, we want to make sure we're not repeating old patterns, okay? So as we're coming out and we're getting reconnected, we want to say, okay, how do I get fresh starts? How do I see the world with fresh new eyes, okay? So new opportunities, new adventures for Melissa, which is kind of cool. All right, so we've got Chris. All right, so we've got Chris, and this is, this is 21, which is clean it up. Okay, and it is in the upright position, so it says make sure that you are putting your mask on your own face first. Make sure that you are keeping your energy cleaned. Make sure that you are staying organized, which is hilarious because I know Chris is the organizational queen, so there's a confirmation that's in there. So this is just making sure that you're cleaning up your side of the street. You're making sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to make sure that things are in order for you. But clean it up, you have this 21, so this is 3. And so we know with the 3 card, remember I talk a lot about 3 being like the butterfly that you're seeing from a profile, and then it opens up and you're like, oh, there's so much more that's there, okay? So when we clean it up, more things can be revealed. So, but this also reminds you that you're only cleaning up your stuff. You're not cleaning up everybody else's stuff, okay? This is the elk. He is a beautiful elk, and he's holding, and he's got 1 broom. He's not got 6. He's only doing his own work. Okay, so he's cleaning it up. He's doing his stuff that's staying in his own lane. Okay, makes sense for my friend Chris. All right, so we've got Steve. All right, lots have happened. Missed last week. That's okay. Last week I was very unhappy about things, and so we did not do individual cards, so you did not miss that. But I look forward to hearing about all the wonderful things. So this is card number 7, and this is To the Sea. So Stephen, this is to the sea. So this is really about allowing the universe to carry you on, okay? So we've seen this card before, where she's in the boat, she's not paying attention to the weather vane, the telescope is actually behind her, she's not paying attention to what direction she's going in, she's trusting the universe is carrying her on in the boat, calm waters, might be a little foggy, hard to see clearly further out, but calm waters, and she's just paying attention and reading her book, okay? So, but then here you have the face up here in the, can you see it? The face up in there? There it is. Okay, you can see the face up in there that says that we are being protected, we are being watched, we are being co-created with, we are being guided. There is higher guidance at play, and this is also a reminder to be sure that you're tapping in, even though you're not worrying about where we're going and how we're getting there, we're still tapping into that higher guidance. We know there's higher guidance that's there, we're not ignoring it, we're allowing it to be part of the journey, okay? All right. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Lots of exclamation points. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Maribel. Scott has no questions. That's okay. All right, Maribel. All right, Maribel, this is upside down. This is new life. New life is number 39, so 9, 10, 11. So 11, we have either number 2 or we have 11, which we take as that companionship number. But this is new life, and it is upside down. And this says, you know, it's important that we're being teachable. We want to be able to learn the new things. We want to be able to welcome change, okay? This is one of those things when we have new life, we're like, that means things are going to change. We don't like change, right? And so this allows us, this reminds us to, that we still have places to learn, places to grow, new life, and it also reminds us that change can be good, even though it's not always the most comfortable, change can be good, okay? So this is going to be for Maribel, so some new adventures for Maribel. That's exciting. All right, so we have Sharon makes sense. Lauren says it's perfect. Overgiving is definitely something she understands. Absolutely. Maria, thank you. Lots of thank yous and lots of thank yous. Okay, I see Belinda. I'm going to jump over to 39 is 12, 39. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, then 3. Hey, even better. Yeah, you know, hey, Maria, math is not my deal. And I really was trying not to do it on my fingers on the camera. So, but you just heard me talk about 3, that there's more that is there. So as you are going forward in a new life, Maria, so always take the 11s. I mean, look, we never shy away from the 11s because we always want to know that there's those that are with us, right? But for Maria, as you are having new life, then it is 3. Chris is right, corrected my math. Thank you. So we know that there's more to the story as change is coming in for you. Just allow that there's more for the story that's going to be a blessing for you, okay? So as this new adventure and change is coming in, that it is, that there's more happening than what you can see on the surface right now, but trust that it is for your benefit, okay? All right, so then we have for Fatima on Instagram, so this is soulmates. This is upside down, no, soulmates. Soulmates is 41, 4 and 1 is 5. I feel like I can do that one in my head. So we have soulmates upside down, and so this is just, let's make sure we're not trying to force things to be together, that we're not trying to create a soulmate relationship where it is, maybe it's not. Now, just to be clear, soulmates can be platonic, they can be mentorship agreement, relationships, they can be parental. So it does not, when you look at soulmates, people always assume that that is a male-female or pair-bonded, romantical, some kind of soul union. That is not the case necessarily. Say soulmates can be a lot of different configurations. And so this is saying that you want to make sure that you are welcoming your soulmate into your life, but not forcing it to be a relationship that it's not. Sometimes we meet somebody and we're like, oh my God, I feel like I've known you for years. Like I feel like we've just really connected. Is that a soulmate connection? Maybe. But we need more information. And so this is just saying to us, let's slow down, let's get more information, let's allow things to continue to unfold. Okay? So that is the soulmate card, and that is 5. So it tells you also fork in the road, that with the 5 number that you have some decisions and to kind of zoom out and see things from a different perspective, and that way you'll know which direction is the right direction to go. Because 5 is really often that fork in the road. Maribel says, I've been seeing 11 a lot and wondering what it means. So 11 is considered one of the soulmate numbers or twin flame numbers, that yin yang coming together to make one kind of a thing. And it is often a reminder, seen as a reminder that we are not alone, that there's angelic guidance or that there's some kind of higher support that's with us. It shows itself in the number 11. Okay? Okay. So consecutive numbers, 11, 11, 11, 1, 2, 3, those kind of things, always good signs to tell us that we're going in the right directions. All right, so again, reminders that we are strongly getting ever closer to the decision to leave Facebook. So if you're not already on my YouTube channel, following me on the YouTube channel, I strongly urge you to be following me on the YouTube channel, because we may very well, we are coming to the point where we're going to have these posts to say, hey, be sure you're coming to the live over there, not over here. Okay. And the last card, and then also make sure you're on the email list so that you are ready to know all the exciting news that is coming out tomorrow. So very excited. And we're going to end it with card number 2. This is the yin and energy. Bless you. This is the yin energy. So this is that feminine energy that says feminine energy is often associated with strength, with wisdom, with patience, with the creation, with balance, with leveling, and it's also associated with pondering. And so before you jump into something, maybe take a breath, have a little ponder, get a little bring it inside, see how it feels, and then be able to make your decision to go forward. Okay, so yin reminds us to take a pause. Okay, yang is often that forward, ever forward, right? And yin reminds us to take a pause. Okay, so as things are going forward in the shit shoveling, that whatever that may be for you, and if you're not, then yay. As we're going forward, this is a reminder that it is totally okay to take a pause. As we said before, we can set that timer that says I just need 15 minutes to just breathe. Maybe I got to play a stupid game on my phone. Maybe I just got to just check out for 15 minutes. Give yourself the opportunity to pause. And then we want to reach out to somebody else, right? We want to reach out. We want to pick up our shovel again. We want to try and reach the people who can see things from a different perspective. And then asking for help and reaching out to others and saying, hey, I need a little help here. I need an opinion. I need some guidance, something, anything. It's really, really important, because it gives us it is not a sign of weakness. It is very much a sign of strength. And that return on that investment can be major joy, major happiness, and even better, that is more about enriching that relationship, because now there's been a new level of trust that has helped to expand and deepen that relationship. So, having said that, I want to thank you all for taking some time on a Monday afternoon to spend together with me, with each other, and being part of our community of light. Again, if I don't have your email address, make sure you DM me, and make sure you're following on the YouTube channel. Changes are coming. So I'm sending you all so much love, so much light, so much prayer and blessing and loving light energy coming your way. And always just remember, you are part of something that is a light-filled community, whether it's here or it's on YouTube. You are part of a light-filled community. So hopefully you will stay with us wherever we migrate to, and we look forward to having you with us again next week. And stay tuned for the big announcement tomorrow. Always remember how very much you are loved, because you are.